So we're going to talk about ratio problems. We talked a little bit about it in class, so I'll just review this first part. Talking about ratios, we're going to set up a ratio. We're going to say 4 over m. We're going to set it equal to another ratio, 21 over 5. Now, how can we solve this problem? We can do something called cross multiplication, which, like I said, we talked about in class. Cross multiplication. So what we would do is we'd take the numerator on this side of the equation and multiply it by the denominator on this side, which would give us 4 times 5. We would set that equal to the denominator on this side of the equation multiplied by the numerator on this side. That's how we get cross multiplication, 21 times m. So 4 times 5 is 20 equals 21m. Dividing each side by 21 gives us m equals 20 21st. And that's simply how you do a cross multiplication problem. You can just solve for the variable by doing the cross multiplication, setting this side, the denominator and the numerator times the denominator on that side, set that equal to the denominator times the numerator on this side. Now we can use cross multiplication when we are looking at some ratio word problems. For example, in your homework, you'll have a problem that says the number of pigs, the ratio of the number of pigs to the number of goats equals 7 to 5. We have to make sure then when we set up these ratios that we're making the parts correspond. The number of pigs is 7 and the number of goats is 5. So that's why they're the numerator is always pigs and the denominator is always goats. The problem is, the question would be, if there are 91 pigs, this is why I'm a math teacher and not an art teacher. If there are 91 pigs, how many goats are there? So how do we solve that? We keep this ratio 7 to 5, and we set that equal to, we know that there are 91 pigs. The pigs is on the numerator, so we want to go ahead and put the number of pigs up here in the numerator. And we don't know yet how many goats there are, so we're going to leave that as g. Now we can go ahead and cross multiply to get our answer. We can take 91 times 5 and set that equal to 7g. 91 times 5 is 455 equals 7g. Divide each side by 7, and that tells us that the number of goats equals 65. So if there are 91 pigs, there will be 65 goats. There's another type of ratio problem that is a little bit more involved, and that is one where we have to think a little bit differently about the ratio. For example, if I have a bag of marbles and I have the ratio of red marbles to blue marbles, and if I know that the ratio of red marbles to blue marbles is 5 to 7, meaning that for every 5 red marbles, there will be 7 blue marbles. Now the problem asks us, if there are 156 marbles in the bag, how many of them are red? So in this bag, we can substitute. We were trying to find, this is what I'm trying to say, we're trying to find the number of red marbles, but we only know the total number of marbles. This is a total. We don't know how many blue marbles there are by themselves. So we have to take a look at this bag first. This bag of marbles has 5 red for every 7 blue. So the total number of marbles in this bag would be 12. And we're going to set up a ratio that also has red in it, because that's what we're going to be looking for. So in this bag, the number of red marbles in ratio to the total number of marbles would be 5 to 12. That's a total number. Now we have a ratio that we can use to solve our problem, because now we can set 5 to 12 equal to this new total, which is 156. And then we can keep this as R for red. The reason why we can do that is because for every 5 marbles, for every they're in a bag of 12 marbles, 5 of them will be red. And now we have a bag of 156 marbles that are in the same ratio as this. So now we can use these new numbers to figure out how many red marbles there would be in a bag of 156 marbles that are in a ratio 5 to 7, red to blue. So we go ahead and cross multiply again. We would get 156 times 5, set that equal to 12R. So when you multiply 156 times 5, we can do that. This I don't mind if you do on the calculator, or you can just do it over to the side. But we would get 780 equal to 12R. Dividing each side by 12 is going to give us the answer of the number of red marbles. Again, you could just simply do 780 divided by 12 on your calculator, or you can write it out. Writing it out, you'll see that the answer is 65. So in a bag of 156 marbles, 65 of them would be red. So this would be your answer. And you can also use that to figure out how many blue marbles there are, but this question is just asking how many red. So be careful when you're setting up your ratio problems that you are setting things equal to what they are supposed to be equal to. This was red marbles equal to the R, 7 blue marbles equal to B, and the total was 12. As long as you keep the corresponding parts in the right place, you'll be just fine.